There are 5 dark personalities, and most people never realize which one has been controlling them and guiding their thoughts. A war is running inside you. It's not a war with guns or soldiers. It's a quiet civil war fought in the darkness of your own instincts. You feel it in your hunger. You hear it in that voice that tells you to push harder, to want more, to take what's yours. Most men are just the battlefield. They are torn apart by forces they don't understand and refuse to name. They call it stress or ambition or just life being difficult. They are wrong. This is not life happening to you. This is a war for your soul, and you are losing it by not showing up. There are 5 generals in this war, 5 different personalities fighting for control of your mind. The first 3 are the most famous. They are the dark classics. The unholy trinity, the narcissist who needs to be seen, the Machiavellian who needs to control, the psychopath who simply doesn't care. But there is a 4th. This is not just a personality. This is a weapon. This is the dark triad. The man who wears 3 masks at once, and all of them are real. And then there is the 5th, the most dangerous and misunderstood of them all, the dark empath. His power isn't in needing or controlling or destroying. His power is in seeing. These 5 have ruled men for centuries. They are the reason empires rise and fall. They are the reason men get manipulated, used, and discarded. They are the puppeteers, and most men are just the puppets dancing on strings they can't even see. So I ask you again, which general is winning your war? Is it the narcissist making you desperate for a compliment? Is it the Machiavellian making you see your friends as pawns? Is it the psychopath making you feel nothing when you should feel everything? Or are you still just the battlefield, letting them fight it out while your life passes you by? The first step to winning a war is to admit you're in one. The second is to know your enemy. And the most dangerous enemy you will ever face is the one you've been hiding from yourself. Let's talk about the first general, the one who is ruled by a single desperate need to be seen. This is the narcissist, and don't for a second think this isn't you. We all have him inside. The question is he a soldier in your army, or is he the general tearing it apart? The narcissist doesn't love himself. That's the biggest lie he tells the world. He needs to be loved. He needs to be seen, applauded, validated. He walks into a room and his mind doesn't calculate power or opportunity. It calculates attention. Who is looking? Who is not? Who praised him yesterday? Who ignored him today? His entire world is a theater, and every person is just an audience member. He is the star of a show that no one else is watching, and it is killing him. You can see him everywhere. He's the loudest one in the room, telling a story that just happens to make him the hero. He's the one with the perfectly curated life on social media, the polished image, the smile that seems just a little too wide. He shines when you praise him. He lights up the room. But watch his eyes. They are never still. They are constantly scanning, searching for signs of disrespect, for a flicker of boredom, for anyone who isn't giving him the admiration he craves. If you praise him, he grows. If you ignore him, he withers. But if you challenge him, if you dare to suggest he is not the brilliant, flawless star he believes himself to be, that's when you see the mask slip. He breaks. Because the narcissist is not strong. He is starving. And the more you feed him with praise, the more he needs it to survive. His confidence is a performance. His charisma is a trap. Underneath it all is something fragile, something rotting, a pride so weak that one insult can send him into a spiral. One rejection and he will plot revenge. He is an empire built on mirrors, and his only goal is to make sure every mirror shows him a flattering reflection. In its extreme form, this becomes malignant narcissism, a poison that destroys everything it touches. This is why so many men fail in silence. It's not because they lacked skill or talent. It's because their ego, their inner narcissist, was too fragile to handle reality. One loss and they disappear. One bruise on their pride and they retreat into a fantasy world where they are still the king. They were never warriors. They were children trapped in adult bodies, craving applause instead of earning respect. They think they are chasing greatness, but they are just chasing compliments. They think they are building a legacy, but they are just building a profile. And when the applause finally fades, they are left with nothing but the silence. And in that silence, they have to face a terrifying truth. Without an audience, they don't know who they are. So look at your own life. Are your goals truly yours? Or are they just bait for applause? Do you want the success or do you want the standing ovation? If the answer hurts, that's your first victory. Because you've just spotted the narcissist in your ranks. And a general who knows his own weaknesses is a general who can't be defeated by them. When the narcissist gets tired of begging for applause, a new general awakens. This one doesn't care if you love him. He doesn't care if you fear him. He only cares that you obey him. This is the Machiavellian. And while the narcissist is a slave to attention, the Machiavellian is a master of leverage. The Machiavellian operates on one core belief, a truth so cold it changes everything. People are tools. They can be used, sharpened, manipulated, and when they are no longer useful, they can be replaced. He doesn't hate people. He simply doesn't romanticize them. To him, emotions are a liability. Loyalty is a negotiation. Kindness is a strategy. And the truth? The truth is not a principle, it's a weapon. You sheath it, or you unsheath it based on what wins the game. You won't find him in the center of the room like the narcissist. You'll find him in the corner. He is the advisor, the strategist, the silent partner. He rarely speaks first. He waits. He observes. He measures your strength and finds your weakness before you even realize you're being studied. And when he finally speaks, it's never a reaction. It's a move. Every word is calculated, specific, designed to shift power, not to share feelings. This man doesn't lose his temper. Why? Because he doesn't value anything enough to get emotional over it. He has already prepared for your betrayal. He has already accounted for your failure. He predicted your disloyalty before you even thought of it. This is the Machiavellian advantage. You see nothing until it's too late. He plays long games, quiet games, games with no audience. While the narcissist is on stage announcing his goals, the Machiavellian is backstage, gathering the keys to every door. He lets others speak and he records every word. He lets others boast and he gathers data. By the time you realize he's dangerous, he already owns half the board, and you didn't even know you were playing. You'll feel it when you're in his presence. A strange coldness, but not an unkind one. He can laugh, he can joke, he can even charm you, but something is always missing. He never gives himself away. His compliments never reveal his true admiration. His anger never reveals a true weakness. His stories never reveal his real strategy. You'll leave a conversation with him thinking you've connected, but you haven't. He gave you a version of himself he wanted you to see while learning everything he needed to know about you. And that's his secret. The Machiavellian is always gathering power. Not brute force, not charisma, but position. And once he has enough, he doesn't fight you. He traps you. You find yourself outmaneuvered, outthought, cornered, and you never even saw it coming. You just wake up one day and realize the walls around you were built by his hands, and the door has already locked behind you. But this path has a price. A heavy one. The Machiavellian may master others, but he loses himself. No connection, no peace, no true alliance, only advantage, only survival. He wakes up every day already playing the game, and he goes to sleep still planning his moves. He lives in a prison of his own making, a cold, silent room where every face is a threat, and every hand could hold a knife. He has confused mastery with meaning. He has won the game, but lost the reason for playing. So ask yourself, have you started to see people as levers instead of lives? Do you watch more than you speak? Do you feel detached, calm, and surgical even in chaos? And more importantly, do you like it? If you do, then the Machiavellian is taking command. And once he's in charge, there's no return to innocence. Only the next, darker level of the game. When the game of leverage becomes a cage, a third general emerges. This one doesn't play games, he shatters the board. He is the final piece of the dark triad, the psychopath. He doesn't need your admiration like the narcissist. He doesn't need your obedience like the Machiavellian. He acts on pure, unchained impulse. No guilt, no shame, no hesitation. While others are stuck calculating risks, he is already in motion. By the time they process what's happening, it's already over. The psychopath is not concerned with reputation. He isn't weighed down by fear, regret, or self-doubt. And that's what makes him deadly. He is the embodiment of a surgical cold detachment. A man who feels nothing except a quiet thrill when others flinch. You won't always recognize him. He doesn't always look like chaos. In fact, he's often calm. Too calm. While others rage or panic, he watches. His eyes are cold, fixed, unreadable. He doesn't over-explain. He doesn't justify. He simply moves through problems, people, and consequences as if they don't exist. And to him, they don't. Because conscience is a weight he threw off long ago. Emotion is a leash he severed. The past is irrelevant. Only the next move matters. That's why he can lie without blinking, hurt without guilt, destroy without a moment's pause. It's not personal. It's not even malicious. It's instinct. The predator doesn't hate the prey. He just doesn't care if it bleeds. You'll find him wherever there's chaos, not hiding from it, but walking straight through the center of the storm. While the narcissist freezes without applause, and the Machiavellian waits for the perfect moment, the psychopath creates the moment. He thrives in fire, in unpredictability, in war. The more unhinged the world becomes, the more powerful he feels. He doesn't panic when the rules break. He breaks them first. And this gives him an advantage that terrifies everyone else. He is willing to go further. He will cross lines, ignore laws, and silence morality because, to him, limits are not ethical boundaries. They are suggestions, and most people's restraint is just another weapon for him to use against them. But don't mistake this for stupidity. The psychopath is often highly intelligent. He knows what you expect him to feel, and he can mimic it perfectly. He can say the right words, show the right face, even cry if the situation demands it. But inside, it's all a performance. Nothing moves him. Nothing sticks. Because to feel is to be vulnerable, and he removed that part of himself long ago. This allows him to do what others can't. Walk into the storm completely unshaken and bend it to his will. Not because he's brave, but because he doesn't care if he dies trying. This is why the psychopath often becomes the king when empires fall, when the old rules no longer protect the weak. When institutions collapse, when fear spreads like a virus, he rises. Because everyone else is paralyzed by consequences, but he has none. While others negotiate, he takes. While others hesitate, he strikes. And even those who see him clearly often still follow, not out of love, but out of awe. Because deep down, people are drawn to what they fear, and they fear what they cannot predict. That is the psychopath's ultimate gift. You never know if he'll spare you or smile as he ends you. And that uncertainty is a power greater than any weapon. You've met the three separately, but now understand this. When the narcissist, the Machiavellian, and the psychopath stop fighting and decide to merge, something truly dangerous is born. This is the Dark Triad. The Dark Triad is the man who wears three masks at once, and all of them are real. He is not just one of them. He is all of them, fused together into a single unstoppable force. He walks into a room with the narcissist's unshakable, almost theatrical confidence. He believes he is the most important person there, and his mere presence demands your attention. He doesn't ask for the spotlight, he owns it the moment he steps in. But unlike the pure narcissist, his confidence isn't just a fragile shell. It's armored with the cold, calculating mind of the Machiavellian. While he's charming you with his grand stories and magnetic presence, his mind is working like a supercomputer. He is studying you. He is identifying your weaknesses, your desires, the strings he can pull. He doesn't just want your admiration, he wants your loyalty, your resources, your obedience. He uses the narcissist's charm to lower your guard, and the Machiavellian strategy to place you exactly where he wants you. He will praise you not to make you feel good, but to make you feel indebted. He will share a secret not to build trust, but to test your discretion. Every word, every smile, every gesture is a move on a chessboard only he can see. And beneath it all, where his heart should be, lies the cold, empty engine of the psychopath. This is what makes the Dark Triad so formidable. He doesn't feel guilt for his manipulations. He doesn't lose sleep over the damage he causes. When it's time to be ruthless, to cut someone off, to destroy a competitor, he does it with the calm precision of a surgeon removing a tumor. There is no emotional cost. The narcissist in him might enjoy the victory. The Machiavellian might appreciate the elegant strategy, but the psychopath simply executes. He is the one who allows the Dark Triad to cross lines others wouldn't dare approach. He provides the emotional detachment necessary for true calculated cruelty. This is the unholy trinity. The narcissist provides the charismatic facade. The Machiavellian provides the strategic brain. The psychopath provides the ruthless will. Alone, each has a critical weakness. The narcissist is fragile. The Machiavellian is paranoid. The psychopath is self-destructive. But combined, their weaknesses cancel out. The triad's confidence is reinforced by strategy. His strategy is empowered by a lack of conscience. His lack of conscience is hidden behind a charming smile. He is a potent fusion of dark power because he isn't ruled by one hunger but by three. You will find him in the highest levels of business, politics, and entertainment. He is the CEO who inspires fanatical loyalty while quietly dismantling his competition. He is the leader who speaks of a grand vision while building a system of total control. He doesn't just want to win the game, he wants to own the casino and rewrite the rules. He is the most complete form of dark power because he isn't ruled by one hunger but by three, and he will use all of them to feed his endless ambition. There is a fifth type, one that operates in the shadows even the dark triad cannot see. While the narcissist craves attention, the Machiavellian seeks control, and the psychopath embraces emptiness, this one craves something else entirely: intimate knowledge. This is the dark empath, and his power doesn't come from what he can take but from what he can see. The dark empath feels what you feel. He doesn't just hear your words, he hears the silence between them. He can look at you and see the hidden insecurities you've buried, the secret shames you nurse, the unspoken desires that dictate your life. He is a mirror that reflects not your face but your soul. And unlike a true empath, he doesn't use this sight to heal. He uses it to possess. His manipulation is not a loud, theatrical performance like the narcissist's. It is a quiet surgical operation. He doesn't need to threaten you like a psychopath or outmaneuver you like a Machiavellian. He simply needs to understand you. He will be the one person who truly gets you. He will remember the small, insignificant detail you mentioned once. He will offer the perfect piece of advice that seems to solve your deepest problem. In his presence, you feel profoundly seen, and that feeling is the most addictive drug in the world. It is also his trap, because once you are addicted to being understood by him, he owns your reality. You will start to seek his approval, to fear his disappointment. You will change your behavior not because he demands it, but because you crave the comfort of his understanding. He builds a gilded cage where you are both the prisoner and the willing guard. Your thoughts are no longer your own. They are filtered through the lens of his perception. This creates a powerful cognitive dissonance between what you feel and what you know to be true. This is where he becomes more dangerous than the dark triad. The triad operates on the board of power and status. The empath operates on the board of your psyche. The narcissist can be broken by criticism. The Machiavellian can be outmaneuvered by a better strategy. The psychopath can be predicted by his lack of emotion. But the dark empath? He has no such clear weakness. His strength is his invisibility. You don't fight him, you thank him. You don't fear him, you depend on him. He is a master of gaslighting, making you question your own sanity until his version of reality becomes your own. And this is the cruelest connection to the dark triad. The dark empath is what the triad wishes it could be. The triad uses force, charm, and fear to control your actions. The empath uses understanding to control your mind. He is the final evolution of dark influence. He proves that the ultimate form of power is not making someone obey you, but making them want to obey you, all while believing it was their idea all along. He is the silent puppeteer, and the strings he pulls are your own emotions. You have met the five. The narcissist, starving for applause. The Machiavellian, hungry for control. The psychopath, empty of feeling. The dark triad, the unholy trinity. The dark empath, the silent weapon. But there is a sixth. This is not another dark type. This is the end of the path, the dark triumph. And he is the most dangerous man in any room because he is the only one who is truly free. Most men are ruled by one of the five. Their entire life is a reaction to a hunger they cannot name. But the dark triumph is different. He is not ruled. He rules. He looked into the mirror and saw all five faces staring back at him. The narcissists need to be seen. The Machiavellians need to control. The psychopath's emptiness. The dark triad's fusion. The dark empath's understanding. And he did not choose one. He chose all of them. He took the narcissist's hunger and refined it. He no longer needs your applause, but he knows how to command your attention when the mission requires it. His presence is not a performance. It is a tool. He took the Machiavellian's cunning and gave it a higher purpose. He builds strategies not for personal gain, but for a vision that outlives him. He faced the psychopath's void and did not fall in. He learned the power of detachment without losing his soul. He can make the brutal decision without becoming a brute. He can turn off emotion to do what is necessary and turn it back on to connect with those he leads. This is his greatest strength, choice. The narcissist must be admired. The Machiavellian must control. The psychopath cannot feel. The dark triumph can do all three, and he chooses when. This is true psychological sovereignty. He absorbed the dark triad's power without its weaknesses. He has the charm, the strategy, and the ruthlessness, but they serve his will, not their own hunger. He understood the dark empath's insight and uses it not to trap, but to build unbreakable loyalty. He sees people's weaknesses not to exploit them, but to make them stronger. He has achieved shadow integration, turning his inner demons into disciplined soldiers. This is the final evolution. The Dark Triumph is not a good man. He is a complete man. He has integrated his shadow. He uses the darkness as a fuel for his light. He is the rarest of men, awake, sovereign, and utterly dangerous because he has nothing left to prove to anyone, especially himself. He doesn't fight the war inside him. He won it, and now he is ready to win yours. The room is set. One prize sits in the center, absolute power. Not the illusion of it, but the real thing. And 6 men enter. Each represents a different law of the dark. Watch what happens. This is the hierarchy of power being decided in real time. The narcissist enters first. He doesn't see the others as rivals. He sees them as his audience. "This was destined for me," he announces, already composing his victory speech in his head. He believes his charm is a weapon. It is his only weapon. He will be the first to fall. The Machiavellian enters silently. He doesn't look at the prize. He studies the players. He is already calculating alliances, identifying weaknesses, and planning his first move. He whispers to the narcissist, "They are all intimidated by you," pouring fuel on the ego that will soon consume him. He believes strategy is everything. The psychopath stands motionless near the door. He doesn't care for plans or speeches. He sees the prize and the bodies between him and it. His mind is empty of thought, full of potential energy. He is waiting for the chaos to begin so he can move through it like a storm. He is a weapon without a master. Then the Dark Triad enters. He is the fusion of the first 3. He has the narcissist's charisma, the Machiavellian's cunning, and the psychopath's nerve. He smiles and the room grows cold. He doesn't see the others as tools or threats. He sees them as assets and liabilities on a balance sheet. He is the most complete predator here. But then there is the Dark Empath. He doesn't stand out. He blends. He moves to the narcissist and says, "You're right, they don't appreciate your genius." He validates him, owns him. He turns to the Machiavellian and whispers, "The psychopath is waiting for you to make the first move." He injects paranoia into the strategist's mind. He doesn't fight for the prize. He makes the others forget it exists by turning their hunger against each other. This is projection at its most masterful. The prize remains untouched. The narcissist is now performing for an audience that despises him. The Machiavellian is trapped in a maze of his own suspicions. The psychopath is a coiled spring with no target. The Dark Triad is recalculating, his perfect plan crumbling under the weight of human unpredictability. The Dark Empath watches, a ghost at the feast. And then the 6th man enters, the Dark Triumph. He doesn't look at the others. He walks directly to the prize. He doesn't grab it. He stands beside it. He is calm, unnervingly calm. He has no mask to wear, no performance to give. He has already won the war inside himself. He looks at the narcissist and sees the scared child. He looks at the Machiavellian and sees the lonely calculator. He looks at the psychopath and sees the empty weapon. He looks at the Dark Triad and sees a powerful but misguided engine. He looks at the Dark Empath and sees a reflection. A man who understands power but uses it to control, not to command. He doesn't manipulate them. He doesn't fight them. He simply observes. And in his observation, he disarms them all. Their tricks, their strategies, their manipulations, they mean nothing to a man who has mastered their source. His internal locus of control is so absolute that external games cannot touch him. The Dark Triumph picks up the prize, not with greed but with sovereignty. It was always his. The others were just keeping it warm. He didn't win the game in the room. He won it long before he walked in. The final victory is not over others. It is over the darkness within. And once you win that war, every other battle is just a formality. The analysis is over. The mirror has been held up. You have seen all 6 faces of the shadow. The narcissist, starving for applause. The Machiavellian, hungry for control. The psychopath, empty of feeling. The Dark Triad, the unholy trinity. The Dark Empath, the silent weapon. And the Dark Triumph, the master of them all. One of them is your ruler. The question is, will you remain a subject, or will you seize the throne? This is not about becoming a villain. This is about becoming sovereign. The world is not divided into good men and evil men. It is divided into slaves and masters. Slaves are controlled by their instincts. Masters command them. You have seen the darkness. You cannot unsee it. Now you have a choice that will define the rest of your life. The easy path is to continue as you are. To let the narcissist in you chase applause until your lungs give out. To let the Machiavellian in you play small games of manipulation until you forget what trust feels like. To let the psychopath in you burn every bridge until you stand alone in the ashes. This path ends in quiet regret. It ends with the realization that you were a puppet all along and the strings were your own unconscious instincts. You will look back at your life and see a series of reactions, not actions. A performance, not a purpose. The hard path is to become the dark triumph. This is not about suppressing your darkness. It is about enlisting it. It is about looking at the narcissist and saying, your hunger for recognition will become my magnetic presence. It is about looking at the Machiavellian and saying, your cunning will become my strategic genius. It is about looking at the psychopath and saying, your detachment will become my unshakable nerve. You don't destroy these forces. You drill them. You turn a rebellious mob into a disciplined army. This path requires brutal daily honesty. It demands that you constantly watch yourself, that you question your own motives, that you face the parts of you that you are ashamed of. The man who masters this becomes unstoppable, not because he is cruel, but because he is complete. He doesn't fear the dark because he carries a torch. He walks into any room, any situation, any conflict, and his very presence shifts the balance of power. Because he is not fighting a civil war inside himself, he can focus all his energy on conquering the world outside. He builds where others destroy. He leads where others manipulate. He wins where others only play games. So I will ask you one final time, and you will answer not to me, but to the man you see in the mirror when the lights are off and no one is watching. What is your choice? Will you remain the battlefield, torn apart by forces you refuse to name, or will you pick up the crown? The war for your soul is over. The campaign for your empire begins now. You have made your choice. You have decided to stop being the battlefield and start being the general. But awareness is only the spark. It is not the fire. If you leave here with only understanding, you have gained nothing but another theory. The real work begins now, the work of building your empire. What is your empire? It is not just money or power. It is the domain where your will becomes reality. It is your business, your art, your body, your relationships, your legacy. It is the thing you will build that will outlive you. And to build it, you need more than awareness. You need a blueprint. You need a strategy. The narcissist's energy, when disciplined, becomes the charisma that attracts an army to your vision. The Machiavellian's mind, when focused, becomes the strategy that outmaneuvers every obstacle. The psychopath's nerve, when directed, becomes the courage to make the decisions that terrify other men. The dark empath's understanding, when used with integrity, becomes the emotional intelligence to lead people, not just manipulate them. This is what the dark triumph does. He is the architect of his own destiny. But how? How do you practically channel the narcissist's hunger? You set a vision so grand that your ego has no choice but to serve it. How do you harness the Machiavellian's cunning? You play the long game, building systems and alliances that make your success inevitable. How do you weaponize the psychopath's detachment? You create a decision-making framework that is immune to emotion, allowing you to cut losses and seize opportunities without hesitation. This is what we will conquer next. The next video is not another philosophical discussion. It is a field manual. It is a step-by-step guide on how to forge your shadow into a tool and build the life you are capable of living. We will break down the exact strategies, the daily practices, the mental models that turn self-awareness into tangible power. We will move from the mirror to the battlefield. This is the moment you prove that this was not just entertainment for you. The comment section is your first test. Write, "I master my shadow," if you are ready to move from theory to practice. Let's see how many of you are truly ready to build. And don't forget to watch the next video. It will be the most important one you ever watch, because it will show you how to move from knowing who you are to becoming who you are meant to be. Your empire is waiting. See you there?